What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again here in Long Beach, California. That's right, the LBC. And this is Fishing Trip. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Charlie Tuna, Charlie Tuna TV. I am here sitting with one of my favorite people in this hip-hop world. I'm a big fan of this guy, even though he don't really realize how much of a fan I am, because we such, you know what I'm saying, comrades, but I'm a fan, like a super fan.
Same way.
Right? So, using the word super, ladies and gentlemen, DMC champion, freestyle king, and as the music passes by, because it's a cool little beat. Grooving. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for my brother MC SuperNatural.
What it do, y'all? Peace, peace.
Yes, sir.
Fishing trip. Yes,
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming, man. Thank you for having the time to come chill with us, man. And it's cool to be sitting out here in Long Beach, man. I used to live right over on the other side of the Vincent Thomas Bridge.
Yeah, it's beautiful. This is where I stay out here now. So
Long Beach.
Nice little place to be able to have access to the water at least.
Yeah, man. So welcome to Fishing Trip, man. And this is a 3-question interview. Pretty simple, you know what I'm saying? But the questions are designed for you to just elaborate, because there's so much stuff that we could talk about, like how we was just talking, right? So the first question is, and I've always wondered this too, I think we talked about this one time before, but I couldn't remember the answer, so I'm asking again. And for the people who don't know, please tell everybody how you got your name.
SuperNatural.
Oh, do me a favor too, because of the waves, just talk a little louder.
Yeah, so the name SuperNatural comes from a couple of things. I was like, when I first started rhyming, I went through a plethora of names. You know how like most artists do in the beginning, they change their name until you finally find something that fits. So I was Dr. Rap, Berserko, I had all these, and they never really fit.
Right.
I was watching a movie one night at my mother's house, laying on the floor with Robert Redford, and it was the movie called The Natural.
Right.
And there's a part in the movie where he knocks the ball out the park, and he had a lightning bolt on the bat. Lightning bolt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he had the lightning bolt on the bat, and boom, and the lights exploded. And I was just sitting there watching, I was like, well, you freestyle, and you everybody always say you kinda like a natural at that. So I took that, and I was like, when I get to the East, this is what I'll introduce myself as, natural. So that's how I kind of started out. But then the super part came when I entered into the New Music Seminar.
Up in the place, skip with the rebound. Your shit say buzz, why your shit say FEMA. Now that's the way I get into it. Talk to Kevin. Oh shit, Natural's in front of the camera. You're in the show, brother. You know you're betting, and everybody out here when I'm done. It's rap.
Wait, so it was just Natural first?
Yeah,
it wasn't
SuperNatural.
Wow, okay.
So when I got a New Music Seminar, you know, at that point, I'm rolling around with my crew, the Alienation and all of that, and we, you know, they always hyping me up. So they was like, man, you don't even freestyle no more, and then, you know, you just get SuperNatural. That nigga get SuperNatural. And so when I signed up, instead of me signing up as Natural, I signed up as SuperNatural. Okay. On the sheet. Yeah. And I was an alternate. I wasn't even supposed to be in that battle, and so once I got into that battle, that cemented my name, like in hip hop. Everybody SuperNatural from that point on.
Wow.
And it also had, once I put that SuperNatural on there, you know, just the love of comics and growing up reading comic books, that's the persona I kind of wanted to take on, like a hip hop superhero at that time. So it fit.
That's crazy.
That's the origin of the name.
So I've interviewed DJ Chris Carnes, and he's a DMC champion too, right? And it's the similar thing. He didn't have a name at all. He was like, so he went in to sign up for the battle as I forgot what he called it, Vishnu or something like that. Something with a V that had nothing to do with his name, but it meant like light in Tibetan or something like that. Right? It worked, right? Where people started to call him that, but he still felt like that wasn't him. And he said he met Travis Barker and saw that he used his real name. He's like, no, I'm gonna just use my real name, that kind of thing. So it's crazy that it's similar, man. That's
how it came about. Damn. And it stuck. It really did. Everybody called me Nat in the hood, you know, Super Nat or Sue.
Yeah.
You know, different variants, but it stuck to this day.
Yeah, for sure. Like, don't nobody know your real name.
Yeah,
That's what's the cool
that.
part.
Yeah.
So the second question is, and it's really vast but really simple, man, because of the fact that, you know, you are such a prolific writer. Like, okay, people call you Freestyle King, and it's true. The dude it's scary what he can do. It's like magic almost what he can do when it comes to, you know, just thinking of things to connect. Not only words that rhyme, but concepts and things like that connect. The question is, like, what is music to you? Like, what does it do for you? What has it done to you? Has it, you know, it's however you want to answer it, man, because that's such a vast question.
Man,
you know?
that truly is a vast question, but I could give an answer. Music for me, because you said, what does it do for me and what has it done to me? What it did for me as a youth is it was an outlet, but it also was like a study guide. You know, I might not have been able to get down south. I might have not have heard a story from the country, or, you know, even the first time I heard Bob Marley, like, you know, this is pre-internet.
Right.
So what you listening to, you got to make up these narratives in your head until you actually see this. So music for me was an outlet, not to sound corny, it was a balm. And when I say a balm, I mean like when you have a wound and you put a balm on it, it was embalming for my heart, you know, to have music. And then what it did for me is I loved it so much that it made me want to do it. You know, and I said, okay, well, maybe I can't play a flute, or maybe I can't play a trumpet or the drums. But I remember when I got my first drum machine, shout out to Mom Duke, like, I got this little thing called Sensonic drums for Christmas, and it had these 4 little gray circle pads on it, and it had these little square buttons, and you could make beats. You couldn't sample it nothing, but you could just play beats.
Right.
And honestly, I would say that was probably like my first rhythmic training. So for me, music led me to hip hop.
Right.
And not only that, just like that symbiotic relationship between my mom's records and the records that was made from my mom's records,
Right.
and my grandmom's records, and my dad's records, and my uncle's records.
Right.
That's what music did for me, and you know, not just to add this little other part on, that's the part that I think is lost with the newer generation. Sampling, yeah, they tried to call it theft, or they tried to say, you know, there's no talent in that. But sampling was the greatest education process for everybody from our era.
Truth. Yeah, school. It definitely was school for sure.
So music was everything to me. It still is. It's like, if you took away music from the world, it would be a boring place, because you wouldn't have a soundtrack to life.
Truth.
Every song that ever touched you, when you hear that song, I don't care if it's a slow jam, hip hop, hard jam, country jam, a song that you might not have even have liked, it can teleport you right to that moment in your life. And you can feel that energy. You can feel it sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially with certain songs.
Truth.
It might be a song your granny used to bang all the time. Like my man's mother used to listen to I Really Miss You, Brandy. Now this was my homeboy's mother in Brooklyn. But she listened to that, and anytime that record comes on, I go right there to her. I go to that house in Brooklyn, her listening to that record with her beer, sitting there listening to her record. So, you know, that's what music has done for me. It's given me a relationship with the world.
That's what's up. That's dope. That's a dope way to put it. Because my dad, when his mom died, the Stevie Wonder song, "Don't You Worry About a Thing." When I hear that song, I get goosebumps, G.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's one of them things.
They came
See what
up.
I'm saying?
Yeah. See them.
I can't talk about that without getting choked up a little bit. But so I understand the power, man. That's definitely something that if the world missed, this world wouldn't be the same. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Really.
All right, man, breezing through these interviews. So the last question is basically, usually I don't ask the same question twice for the last question, because each person is their own individual, and I try to give it to them, you know, individually. But we share so many tours together, but the major tour, the word of mouth tour that we shared together, them 3 tours, man, that we did. 2 tours. I think it was 2 for you, right?
2.
But 3 all together for us.
But no, it was 3 too, because we did the European one, didn't we?
No, we didn't even. I would have loved to have taken that thing over to Europe. But we went to Europe together.
Yes, that's what it was.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
what
it wasn't officially the word of mouth tour. Even with Dilated was on it with us, but it wasn't really officially word of mouth. Because I remember after that is when we branded it and then did it in the States.
That's right.
But the question that I had for Rhett, because Rhett Matic was on the word of mouth tour, I'm gonna give it to you too. Give me at the very least 1, but at the most 2 of your favorite instances on that tour. Like 2 things that happened when you was like, yo, man, I cannot front. That was crazy.
Oh God, there's so many.
Exactly, that's what I was asking.
There's a few. I remember one night, something that really, really made me laugh. And we was in Chicago. And Fran and Lalo, me, Fran, Lalo, and Babu, they was like, first of all, just me being on the word of mouth, I was the only dude that came from somewhere else that was on the word of mouth. Yep. You know, came from NY, but you know, via Indiana, and was on the word of mouth with the homies. Just being around your comrades is one thing, the laughter. But one of the moments that really made me laugh, and I still giggle about this to this day, Fran, Lalo, Babs, it was like, yo, let's go get something to eat. I didn't know where we was going to get something to eat. And we went to this place called the Wiener Circle. And it's famous in Chicago, but I wasn't really understanding this yet. So we pulled up. Matter of fact, I think we took Fran and Lalo. That's what I think.
Hold that thought. Okay, so Fran.
I know what you're talking about.
Get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. Fran was the tour manager for Dilated Peoples, and Lalo Medina was the tour manager for Jurassic.
So these were the tour managers.
And Wiener Circle.
So we go to the Wiener Circle, and they wanted to go. And so Babs had already hyped up how good the food was. So we get there, and Fran and Lalo get out the car, and they go up to the thing, and they go, do you guys have hot dogs? You know, like, what kind? And she's like, what the fuck you think that we got? Motherfucker, you at Wiener Circle. What do you think we serve here? And they kind of looked at each other like, did she just curse us out? We already was hip. We knew.
We knew, yeah, exactly.
And they was just so blown away that they spoke to him so disrespectful.
Right.
And so I was dying laughing because the initial shock of going somewhere and asking somebody, you know, for food and getting cursed out the way they did. And so I think even Fran then went back and grabbed somebody else and took them. Dude. You know, but that one, and then another
for people
fun.
that don't know, the Wiener Circle is a crazy place in Chicago where your ass will get cussed out, and it's just a part of
food with attitude.
Experience.
It's part of the experience.
It's part of the
food with attitude.
Anyway,
that's what they do.
What the fuck you want, you fat, round, Richie Cunningham, big titty, baby dick, bloated strawberry bitch?
And one of my other fun moments was like, me and Babu, we was always talking stuff to each other on the tour. And we took it back old school, and we had a pencil fight.
Oh, yeah.
And so me and Babs, like,
notorious.
we was talking like old school, like, you remember when you did this in school? And I was like, yeah, I was nice at pencils. And Babs was like, oh, really? And I was like, well, what you mean, oh, really? And so we started talking shit to each other, and there's footage of this.
Yes, sir.
Full on pencil, 1989 high school pencil battles, and we went at it a couple of times. We went through almost a pack of pencils.
You can best believe this footage is gonna show up on this.
And so you know, it was just those little moments when you with the homies and you doing what you love every night, you know, and you with friends and everybody's showing out.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's showing out. Every group is killing shit every night, and there was nobody that was over us. It was made by us. It was made for us. I was part of it. You know, it was an in-house deal, and it kind of let me know at that time, for me too, coming from a major record deal and being on the road in these big places, and then going out with these groups that I seen, and was like, oh, you don't need a label. Oh, you can put out your own records. Right. You know. Yeah. And, you know, and I became part of a lifelong team, to be honest. Like, I always brag to myself that I think I set a world record. I'm the only MC to rock with all of the beat junkies and the scratch perverts and every Filipino dope DJ in history I rocked with them. From Rhythmatic to Mixmaster Mike to Babu to D Styles to Qbert, you name it. Shortcut, can't shortcut. I mean, these brothers have stood in the gap for me, and not to mention Newmark, Cut Chemist, you know, like all of the DJs, the greatest DJs. I've had even Z-Trip,
you know what I mean? Yeah, I was gonna say.
I've had the opportunity to rock with them.
Yes, sir.
No matter if the whole world seen this is in my memory banks for life.
Yeah.
And that's what word of mouth did for me. It gave me memories that have lasted me a lifetime, and I'm lucky to still be living. I haven't lived a full lifetime yet, but what I've experienced in this lifetime is priceless.
That's right.
You
that's
know,
what's up,
and
man.
so that's the caveat for me. For
I appreciate that, because that's the truth, man. I mean, word of mouth was so special, man. I was watching. I
would love to do it again.
Yeah,
if we could,
for sure.
You know?
Or some remnants of it, some kind of. If it ain't the whole of us all, then it's at least pieces. Something we got to do.
Because it was for me. It was a time where underground hip hop or independent hip hop, per se, it wasn't getting the love that it deserved, and people didn't think that we could even pull that off. And we pulled it off.
That's real.
You know, and I was able to be on a bus for 2 months with people and get along. Good vibes, good food, stopping at places along the way, funny jokes, you know, tough moments too. You know, I got sick on the tour. And this is when you see who your real friends are. You know, the brothers held me down while I was sick.
Loved one passed, I remember that.
Yeah, my loved one passed, and I still had to go on stage. And I remember, like, you know, just Charlie standing on the side, like, go do what you gotta do. I got you when you get off. We gonna chill. Listening to house music in the back with Charlie, like, and smoking thumbies, you know, what we call thumbies. You know, we used to roll these big ass spliffs, and we call them thumbelinas, and we would smoke them joints in. And then, like, one of my favorite things was, like, being the first to get to the showers in the morning. Like, Charlie had that to a T. He'd tap on the thing. Hey, you up? He knew I'd be up, because I'd be laying in there watching the DVDs and shit. And, you know, just those moments, you won't ever forget those, man. Traveling around the world and doing what you love, man.
I call that training. We definitely, that was school for us to the max as just independent artists. Because I trip on think about this, like the peer groups that we had, not just in Los Angeles, but around the world at the time. Like people like the Arsonists, Company Flow, you know, just all of these different groups, the Swollen Members, all of these different places that we was going that had the same vibe of artists independently trying to do what we was doing. Everybody's just trying to get theirs. And now, all these years later, we in our 50s, you know, somebody like LP from Company Flow is with Killer Mike doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Destroy is doing his thing. You know what I'm saying?
The evolution is real.
It's amazing, man. I love that, man. I really do, because it's really something that a person can hold on to and be proud of. Like you said, man, holding in memories. Those memories are priceless.
Triggering art, man.
That's
triggering art. Like, I learned how to do a lot of stuff on word of mouth that I didn't even know I knew how to do.
Exactly.
You know, like even selling merch. Like, I had sold merch, but if you can't really sell merch if you ain't got nowhere to sell it.
Truth.
You know what I mean? So when I was on the road, I'm like, damn, you can sell 2 or 3 shirts every night. That's go straight to your pocket. And I was selling more than that, actually.
For sure.
A lot more. And just those moments, bro, it's like, me personally, I don't like when shit like that ends. I don't like when we can't extend that. You know, I did Rock the Bells. That lasted for 11 years, you know, and that was fun. But it wasn't, you know, not to take away from Rock the one word of mouth.
Right.
Because word of mouth was as raw as it got. And every night, and everybody every night, even the way we would end the show every night. You know, everybody would come on stage at the end and it'd be a big party vibe, and, you know, I'd do the thing where I'd run down all the MCs and DJs, and, you know, and it was, you just never knew what would happen. And, you know, I thank God for those times, man. That's not even being like over the top with it. Like, those times are precious, and you have to cherish those moments, because, you know, we're not promised tomorrow, but you got to live in today.
That's real, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, man, I got my brother, Mr. SuperNatural, here right now. Dog, do me a favor and tell everybody all your socials, and, you know, maybe give them a little preview of something that's coming up for you.
Right now, you can find me on Instagram at MC SuperNatural. You can find me on Facebook, MC SuperNatural, same way. I'm gearing up to redo my YouTube page. We get ready to tear it down and make it right, streamline it.
Right.
You know, I kind of started slow with the YouTube, so we're doing that. I just released a new video. I mean, it's out for, if you want to go on my Instagram and check it out, it's called Boom Bap Shit. It's produced by me, you know what I mean? It was one of the first records that I was able actually to produce my own music, so that's what I'm doing right now.
Yes, sir.
So just make sure you stay on the lookout. I got a beat CD coming out soon, and just still trying to live this music thing, man, and not let it die.
Yeah, man, if you live in it, then it ain't gonna die. That's what
Right.
it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
One love.
So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we got MC SuperNatural. Please go look him up, man. You got to understand, the freestyle king. But besides that, a great brother. And besides that, nowadays, an amazing producer. People don't know that this dude can make some hell of a beats. So be on the lookout. Once again, MC SuperNatural, Fishing Trip, Charlie Tuna TV. Respect.